Yeah, we have it's a fairly simple reversal bar condition here on a Renko chart, although there is one condition to the reversal bar here, right? So if we get a reversal bar, basically the previous bar in the opposite direction must not have a wick higher than the reversal bar, right? So in other words, so for this long setup bar, the higher close than the previous bar high, right? So in other words, the reversal bar's high needs to be higher than the previous bar's high in the opposite direction. So basically, we want to make sure that there's no long wicks here. And let's see, we don't actually, yeah, here we go. Here's an example, right? So we had a reversal bar down. However, right, the up bar, it has a lower low than the reversal bar's low. So this would be a no-go, no signal here, right? So there. So that's what we're going to do. And then one other last thing is we're waiting for a confirmation bar. Just simply another bar in the same direction as the reversal bar. So we want 2 bars in the same direction, right, after the reversal. So I'm just looking for some areas to work with. So actually, I mean, there's lots of areas to work with here, but let's see. I'm trying to find some areas that don't qualify. So yeah, basically a lot of these bars here aren't going to qualify. Actually, let's take a look at that screenshot again. Let's see. All right, so this is the Renko. Yeah, so what we can kind of back engineer here and determine that, making sure that the reversal bar closes either lower than the previous bar's wick or higher than the previous bar wick. What it's going to do is it's going to filter out these multiple reversals in a row here, right? So we can see we get some reversal bars in a row, so it kind of filters out those double reversal bars like that. Let's see here. Yeah, so like this over here, right, gets filtered out. Yeah, and I think basically all these other reversals, yeah, will show through. All right, so there we go. So we have a couple of reversals here that we know don't qualify for a signal there. So those will get filtered out. All right, so let's get started building here. So let's see. First thing, let's put in today's file date. All right, so it's 10/10. And let's start working on the logic tab here, on the logic tab. And let's see, what should we call this? All right, something like that. All right, so we're looking for reversal bars with a wick filter and a continuation bar there. Okay, so let's start with the obvious solver that we need, which is a inflection solver. And that's the obvious one. And the inflection solver, once we get this set up, what we're going to do is look for a price inflection, or basically a price reversal, and set this to price. Right, there we go. So every reversal bar is now marked on this Renko chart. So that's the obvious one. So now next, let's see, let's scoot that over. So now next we need to look for, let's see here, we need to look for these wicks. Let's look for that wick right there. There, I'll scoot this over just a little bit there. So look for that wick so that we can qualify these reversal signals here. So to do that, what are we doing? Actually, let's go back to the chart here. So what are we doing? We're comparing the close of the reversal bar to the wick, to the price of the wick, 1 bar back. Right? We're just comparing these two low prices here. So For that, we're going to use the comparison solver. Let's plug that in there. And let's see here. All right. So the way this naming convention works is we're comparing the high and or the low of the current bar. So 0 in programming terms refers to the current closed bar, and then we're comparing that to the high or the low of 1 bar back. So all right, so both of the inputs here are going to be price. So we're going to change the type to price on both input A and input B here. We're going to set them both to price. So let's see here. So if we have a reversal up bar, we're looking for a long signal, then we're comparing the highs. So we're using the highs for long signals, the high prices for long signals. So let's go to the long output here and set that to the high price. And do the same thing down here. Input B, we're going to set that to the high price. And now the shorts, well, the shorts are going to be the opposite, right? We'll be using the low price. So let's change this to the low price. Go down here to B, and we're also comparing it to the low price. Right? And now the difference is that for input B, this needs to be 1 bar back, right? So the reversal bar is going to be the current bar, and we're comparing it to 1 bar back, to the high or low of 1 bar back. So our look back period, we need to add 1 to that. So we're going to set that to 2, like so. There. And next, we need to figure out what outputs do we want to use. Yeah, so for a long signal, A needs to be greater than B. And let's see here. Yeah, so for a long output, A needs to be greater than B, and we have that already on. So we're good to go. Yeah, so actually, this is perfect here. So if we look at this bar here, let's slide this over there, right? So if we notice, there's no long output here, right? BloodHound is missing a long output. It only has a short output here. And that is because this high is not greater than the previous bar high. Right? So in other words, input A is not greater than B, so there's no long output. Right? So remember, A is the high price of the current bar, and input B is the high price of 1 bar back. So yeah, so no long output there. If we step back here, right, the high of this bar is greater than the high of this bar, and so therefore we do have a long output here on this bar. So that's where we're getting a long here, but we're not getting a long, right? And that's why there's no long on this bar. And that's exactly what we want, right? Because this reversal up bar needed to close higher than the previous bar, but it didn't. So we don't want a long output there. Right? So, okay, so with that, now we can take a AND node. Let's connect this together. And before I finish up here, let's take a look there. There's that and that. And connect up our comparison solver. And there we go. So we can see, right, the second and third reversal bar are now filtered out, right? So let's see here. Yeah, we're going up, and yeah, so the second reversal bar got filtered out. All right, so we have the reversal bar filtering done. Now we just need to look for that confirmation bar, right, or the second bar in a row in the same direction, right, to confirm the signal. So that would simply just be a bar direction, right? But we also You know, if we scroll back here, so we know that we want the signal on the confirmation bar there, right? So we need to take the signal, we need to shift over the signal from the reversal bar over one more bar onto the confirmation bar, right? So we need to take the signal from the reversal bar, shift it forward one bar onto the confirmation bar, and wait for that confirmation bar. So we can simply do that using a look back node. And let's push this back a little bit. There. So we're going to connect the AND node in there, right? And there we go. So now we can see the signal is now on the confirmation bar. It's now on the confirmation bar here. And here, let's rename this node here. I like to rename this here. So what we're doing is we're using the displacement function. So we're simply using this displacement function of 1. So, and now we can combine that with the bar direction solver, right? Also, just for good measure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bar direction solver and make sure that it's actually a 2-bar direction solver. Right. So I can take the number of bars and I can up this to 2 just for added measure. Don't really need to, but you know, why not? It's good to just follow a good practice here. And so now we can see on the reversal bar, right, there's no output on the reversal bar. We actually have to get the second bar in a row, right? Basically the confirmation bars now have an output here. So if we go back here to these multiple reversal bars in a row here, right, there's no output because we don't get 2 bars in the same direction. Right. So just a little added filter there. Now we can take another AND node. Let's connect everything up. Connect that in, and then connect that in. And there we go. And yeah, so we can see that this signal here was filtered out. Well, because the wick was higher than the reversal bar. So that was filtered out. And let's go back here. Yep, same thing here. Right, the wick was higher than the reversal bar close. So this was filtered out. There. All right.